Do you believe in fate, Neil?
No,
Why not?
because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix.
As I talked about lying in my previous videos, we are not aware of what is the truth. We don't know our real feelings. We can't really analyze our feelings deeply enough to be able to express them. And when we do express them, they come across as false. So basically all the time we are saying something different than what really is. And so we are lying. In the same sense, we are pretending in our actions to do what is not real. We are pretending to be different people than we really are. Why? Because we are inspired by the movies, we are inspired by our neighbors, we are looking at whatever other people do and copy that, and we act like that. So we have some certain actions, certain things, bodily gestures, certain words that we say that we may like or we are impressed by, that we repeat. For example, I don't know, I'll be back, or are you talking to me? Those are from the movies. But of course we look at other people, we see how they act, and we act in the same way, or we try to act in a similar way. And so it isn't real, it isn't what we really feel. And of course, vice versa, as observers, we perceive others with distance because we are so used to seeing movies and know that these movies are just made up, that when we see something real, perhaps real, we believe that this may be pretended action, pretended expression. So somebody says to us, you know, I want to kill myself. Well, we say, okay, go ahead, jump from the bridge, man, because we think that he's not serious. And we often have, you know, some kind of violence that we see in the real world, on TV, in the news, and so on. We just mix this violence with the pictures that we saw a moment ago, and a moment after we will see the pictures from movies. And of course, these are fantasy stories, fantasy violence. So this violence and the real violence, documents and fantasy become very unclear, very mixed, and we are very confused about what is real and what is not. And therefore, in some sense, you know, we talk about being desensitized to violence, but it just means that we are living in the twilight zone between the reality and the fantasy, because movies are so powerful. The imagery of movies is so powerful in our lives that it becomes a part of the reality.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Imagine the following scenario. You are driving on a street of your town, and suddenly you see a guy carrying a gun. He has his gun pointed first in the air, then eventually he points it at somebody who is a passerby and shoots that person. The person falls down, dies. It looks like that. You are driving in a car. What you can do is to turn around and hit that person, drive over that person. Do you do that? Do you take the risk? And the risk is actually double, because it's one thing is that the person might shoot you, and the other risk is that actually it might be a movie. These two people might be actors. So hello, hi.
So is it a good idea to take a risk and think that this is a real happening, or do you think that this is acting and so therefore you don't worry about it? What do you do?
Scenario number 2. Remember the movie 8mm with Nicolas Cage? You come across a tape, and on this tape you can see a rape of somebody and a murder of that person. It looks like a rape and a murder, but is it real? Do you really call the police, or do you think this is a movie? How many movies have you seen? How many movies have you come across that look like that portray a rape and a death and a killing? And you know that they are probably not real. When the first movie about violent killing came out, I think not the first one, but one of the very first ones that was very shocking. It was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and some people said, I remember when I was young, I heard from other friends that, wow, if you see this movie, this was a real thing. They were really cutting people to pieces in that movie, and this was a real horror. So if you want to watch a real movie with violence, people being cut, then watch it. Of course, I never watched it because I was too scared, but now I know that this was, of course, a made-up movie. And how many movies have you seen that you might have come across, you know, renting or seeing on TV and so on, and they portray some kind of violence, and you believe that this isn't real because, of course, they wouldn't be showing violence on TV. But actually, they sometimes do. You know, you can come across a movie that may be real, a real snuff movie, and it's just out there because people don't believe it is real. On the internet, there might be real snuff movies out there. The probability is that there are some movies that, you know, people made of real torture and real killing. But actually, we believe that they're all made up. We believe that they are all just special effects. So we don't call the police when we see a movie on the internet that seems suspicious, because we think, oh, come on, this is surely not real. So there's a very thin line between what is imagination and what is reality, and in our lives, the understanding which one is which is very difficult and very mixed up.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
Or
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.